Hi, my name is Kevin Thomas, W1DED. I'm very excited about this next conversation. This is one for the DXers, the IOTA chasers, the POTA chasers. I've got a team, Raisa R1BIG and Yuri N3QQ, who are getting prepared for a DXpedition soon, and they're here to tell us all about it. Welcome, guys.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
So if we could, let's do a quick rundown of your backgrounds. Raisa, I think a lot of people will know you from your YouTube channel, but please just give us a little background about how you got into ham radio.
Oh, I started in 2010 with fox hunting, ARDF, and it was very interesting to me to run in the forest to try to find these small foxes, small transmitters, which is working there in the forest. And then in 2018, in May, I start my first QSO as a person who are not in ham radio. It was so exciting, and it was only one time, and I decided how it's possible. It is very interesting, and I started to prepare it to exam, and in December 2018, I passed it and got my first call sign. Now I have three of them: Finnish, Canadian call sign, and Russian call sign. And very happy to be in ham radio because ham radio changed my life, and I have now so many interesting opportunities. I have so many friends around the world, and I like it very much.
And like I said, I really appreciate the work that you're doing on YouTube. And for the watchers, there'll be a link to Raisa's YouTube channel in the description, so please take a look at that. And Yuri N3QQ, tell us about your background.
Well, Kevin, thank you. I started ham radio, give or take, in 1989, and my passion is expeditions. I didn't have a decent station at home for many years, so work, kids, etc. And the only way to actually enjoy ham radio was to conduct some expeditions up north or down south, the places no one wants to go normally. Anyways, and we have built a really good reputation in team as well, and looking forward to enjoy this Central American adventure.
So before we get into your adventure to Costa Rica, talk to me about the RRC and the founding of that and the DXpeditions that you've been on in the past.
Russian Robinson Club is existing for 31 years. Last year we celebrated 30. And what our club does, mostly expeditions, again, to islands on the air, as well as to some local Russian islands. And we have over 1,000 members worldwide. And it's a great hobby which connects us all together. We do have meetings from time to time, like a convention, quote unquote, or conference. So, and it's a great place where we meet everybody and talking together. So that's more or less what I have about this club.
So let's get into the DXpedition that's coming up that so intrigues me. I believe the call sign has finally been assigned, TI1RRC. Correct me if I'm wrong, but tell me about that.
Well, finally assigned, yes. We got a minute ago or a few minutes ago, we got email confirmation, but I don't see paper yet. So we'll wait until the paper will be on hand. It could take a couple of days. It's not hours. So, and then hopefully we will see it. Yes, the major obstacle during expeditions to Central America is licensing. Technically, you could operate with IRP, maybe you know this document, so it's very easy to get from ARRL, but you have to notify authorities, and it doesn't work in all countries. Originally, our plan was to conduct this expedition in 2024, but when we faced with current licensing issues, we knew we couldn't make it on time. So, speaking of licensing, what I want to do is to help to say thank you to all of us local supporters, specifically YN1J Juan from Nicaragua, as well as Jorge TI2JV from Costa Rica, and Roberto HP1 MRA, his call sign. So without local support, it's pretty much next to impossible to get the call signs.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And if you would, give us the actual location that you're going to and why you chose that location.
It's in Costa Rica. We have Cano Island. So it is pretty rare from IOTA perspective. It's under 15% confirmed. And right next to it, we have a park. That's where we will operate from as well. This island, as you know, Costa Rica has this vision of pura vida. And on this island, technically, you can't stay overnight for normal populations. We agreed with administration that we will help them out with some batteries for their solar system, and they will let us stay in place of the volunteers for a couple of days. And that's why it was selected. So it's rare and it's off the beaten path. So it will take us about 6 hours to get from San Jose in the car to this location.
And when you were talking about the RRC and the founding of that group, you mentioned that it has been primarily IOTA DXpeditions, but I know in the last few at least, they've intersected with POTA activations. Tell me about that. What was the genesis of wanting to actually do parks on the air while you're doing the IOTA DXpeditions?
Well, I think I'll give kudos to James, KB2 of MH. He kind of brought it to our attention that it's a lot of people who want to work POTA stations. IOTA by itself, it's a much smaller community, and we have POTA is very popular in US and getting around. So that's the reason why we're including the POTA, because right next to each other, why not do it if we're there anyways?
And Raisa, maybe you can tell us about the team that has been put together to go to Cano Island.
Yeah, we will be of 8 of us, 4 guys from the USA and 3 from Russia and 1 from Czech Republic, and part of the people are going to be on the island and to make activation for IOTA, and part of us will be POTA activating, and I think it's a good combination to do both at the same time. And of course, we all are going to be on the island for first day and for the last day to help to install everything, our equipment, antennas, and so on. And I have to say that it will be my first trip such a far away from my house. I have never been in such a long distance from my house, and it will be a very interesting and exciting experience to me. And of course, it will be the expedition. It was my dream for a long time, and I was very happy then Yuri called me and told me that it is possible to go to Costa Rica. I was very surprised and very happy. And it was almost 1 year ago, and during all this time, we were in the contact and we discussed many things. And it is also very interesting to me to know how is process going, how what we need to do, what we need to discuss, everything. It's very interesting to me because I have never been in the expedition. I saw many of them, and I thought that it could be really huge work to do the expedition. And now I see it inside, and it is so. And thanks to Yuri, he's our team leader, and I see that how many work he have to do.
Well, I guess I hadn't realized this was your first DXpedition, so congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
If you would, go through the team members that are going with you, names and call signs, and let me know if this is their first DXpeditions or if they have some experience.
They are very experienced, and I just don't want to be wrong with the call signs. I'm very good with names, but it's my problem because it's when I started, so many friends at the same time and so many call signs, and I can't remember all of them. So I think Yuri will help us with call signs. Yeah, thank you, Yuri.
Kevin, our team consists of actually it's mixed bag, I would say, with Raisa new, so it will be her first experience. Mike K5 MSK, he is new as well to the expeditioning. And the rest of us have done some big things and small things. But let me start with names. Hall, W8HC, very well-known index treasure expeditioner. Then Tim, NL8F from Dutch Harbor, Alaska. So we've done quite a few expeditions with him, and he is working always on the low bands. He is like a beacon if you try FT8 on low bands. So then we have Slava, OK8AU. He done quite a bit of expedition with different team, RDXC. So they done lots of Africa work from African places. The next one is RW3RN, is Alex. We done expeditions together in Alaska. And the last but not least is Vlad, R9LR. And he is super technical person, easygoing, so done expeditions before. So team building, it's always kind of to have the team where everybody understands everybody and everybody easygoing. So that's the main criteria, is to be flexible.
So for those of us who will be looking for you on the bands, what is the plan? How long will you be on island? And I presume you'll be operating all modes, but tell me more about what your plans are.
Well, Kevin, speaking of operation from the island itself, preliminary plan is to have 4 people on the island. This is limitation with the beds. Basically, they don't have any more space to accommodate. And what we'll do the first day, we'll bring all equipment, generators, fuel, antennas, equipment. All of us will go the first day. We'll connect everything, make sure everything is working. We'll leave 4 people on the island. They will operate, I would say, 24/7 for 3 to 4 days. We will switch some operators, but every switch is depending on the weather, number 1. And number 2, some costs involved as well with this travel. It's last mile thing, it's always most expensive. And after everybody done on the island, then again, whole team comes down, help them to dismantle everything and bring it back to the shore.
So are you going to be operating remotely also?
Only local operation from the island itself, and it will be at least 3 to 4 stations, I'm thinking. Bands-wise, from 40 and up. It's no reason to take a 160-meter antenna. Actually, Slava OK8AU is bringing up from Europe specific antenna he built for 160 meters. So everybody needs to look out for our signals from Costa Rica and other places.
So I'm just curious about the logistics. How far off the coast of Costa Rica are you?
Not much, it's just a couple of hours, just depends on the weather. It's where this island located, maybe 2 hours, that's what they say.
So half the team will actually come back to the mainland.
Correct, and operate from the park while those guys operating there.
So which of the 4 operators are planning on being on island?
To be determined.
Is that going to be pulling straws or a fist fight?
I don't know, it depends. We'll figure it out. I mean, it's the easiest part.
Tell me more about the equipment that you're bringing. You mentioned the antenna, but what are you bringing for equipment?
Well, equipment-wise, actually half of it is already in Costa Rica. It's stored with TI2GV, with Jorge. And we have Sun SDR 2DX transceivers, have Juma amplifier, we have a couple of FT891 transceivers, and also Team and Hall will bring complete stations. So we'll have about 3 1 kW stations and 2 100-watt stations, at least.
Raisa, do you have anything to add to that?
I just curious how it will be and how it all these things will be organized, because for me it's easy to set up my equipment. You know that I'm working very often portable, and for me I just need 10 or 15 minutes and my working position is ready. But I'm sure that it will be much more interesting to do it on the island, and it's interesting that this island is uninhabited and only some rangers are there, and during the day come tourists, but as Yuri told that at night it's not possible, not easy to stay there. But I hope that they allows us to be there, and it will be interesting. You know that because I have never been in such a countries and in jungles, I have some scaries about mosquitoes, about so on, and for me it's a big step because I am sure it will be very nice and fun. I will have much fun, but also sometimes it's I think it will be maybe not comfortable and so on, but it's a big step for me to have this experience.
I know that DXpeditions like this are not inexpensive, so I presume you have some sponsors lined up. But if people want to donate to the DXpedition, how would they go about doing that? And who are the sponsors that you have now?
Kevin, yes, the numbers are not huge. It's not a buoy or something, but it's about 25K give or take without tickets. So, and I would say 20-25% of it, that's last mile, because we need to get this transportation, we need to get them batteries, so it's where the bulk of the money is going to. So if somebody would like to help out, it would be great. They can go just qrz.com, TI1RRC has a link to PayPal. You can pick up whatever number you're comfortable with. We'll appreciate it, and we'll get you cards, and we'll have some special cards for some big level donors. Raisa will sign them personally. But other than that, it's appreciated. Thank you, Kevin.
And for all the watchers, the link for the donating will be in the description on YouTube. So we should get to the dates. I don't think we've discussed that yet, but what dates do you expect to be there setting up, and what dates do you expect to be operating? Specifically
with Costa Rica, our Russian teams arrives on February 18th. U.S. team will arrive a little bit earlier because we need to get generators, cans for gas, some other miscellaneous parts. Also, so we'll travel on 19th to location, and if everything goes well, probably on 19th or the 20th we can start operation of the February, and it will go all the way until the 25th. And again, this weather dependent, it's not Alaska, but who knows, they may have some irregularities. So, but it's an approximate week when we will be on the island, and we will catch a weekend as well. It's when the most of the hams on the air. That's very helpful. So we'll all mark our calendars for that. Will you have internet connection there? Oh, on the island, yes, we will have internet connection. It wouldn't be super fast, but at least something. Regarding live stream, we will do it from the park, but I'm not sure about the island yet. And speaking of the Starlink, we have equipment, but because of the logistics where we're going, it's just not worth bringing it. Well, I'd love the opportunity to interview one of you while you're on island, so keep that in mind when you get there. If the internet connection is solid enough, we can keep it short, but I did the same thing from CY9C with Craig Thompson, K9CT, and I think people found it very interesting to get an inside look into the camp and the operating while the DXpedition was going on. So keep me in mind. I'll make that a public request of you. Are there any final thoughts that you have for the audience before we wrap up?
Yeah, I'm going also to be very active in my social media and to show all process because it's very interesting to myself. And I know that there are many people who never were in the DXpedition, and it is interesting to know how it is some insights. And yeah, if the internet will good, maybe I will do live stream, and of course I will be very happy to meet you. Yeah, it's will be a really exciting journey to me.
Well, looking forward. It will be busy. I guess we have about 7-8 weeks left before start, so it will be pretty busy. We'll get everything completed what we need to, and looking forward for operating there, giving as many as possible contacts to everyone who needs them. Also experience local culture, food, see some sights. That's the plan.
Well, thank you both for joining me. Good luck on your trip. I've been talking to Raisa R1BIG and Yuri N3QQ. They'll be on their way to Cano Island in Costa Rica, operating as TI1RRC in mid-February. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you. See you on the air.